In recent years, it seems as if climate change has been a topic that's importance has been brought to the attention of the public like never before.
One particular aspect of climate change, however, has spread all over the media like a wildfire.
It is almost as if a week can't go by without wildfires being in the spotlight. But when the cameras turn off, the fires keep burning because once a wildfire begins, it's extremely difficult to stop.
In order to get to the bottom of what has been causing these wildfires and what kind of damage this is doing to our Earth, my team decided to travel the world to areas hurting from wildfires: California, the Amazon, and Australia.
What are some statistics that you can share about wildfires?
Most people don't know that 90% of the wildfires in the US are caused by humans, and the other 10% are caused by lava or lightning. So it's not all because of climate change. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, there was an estimated 46,706 wildfires that broke out between January 1st and November 22nd of 2019, where more than 200,000 people were evacuated. California is ranked number 1 of the 10 states that are at high to extreme wildfire risk, with about 2,019,800 properties at risk.
How have wildfires evolved over time?
Most fire patterns have altered throughout the years. Due to the major fires, some forests, shrublands, and grasslands have evolved with the fires that actually depend on them to provide habitat and release seeds. The number of acres burned in wildland fires drastically increased from the 2000s compared to 1980 to 1999.
How long do wildfires last on average?
The length of time that a wildfire lasts can't be determined easily because it really depends on the flammable material that is around the fire, the vertical arrangement, moisture content, and weather conditions. The ones occurring in California can spread up to 14 miles an hour, which is equivalent to a 4-minute mile.
What percentage of wildfires are man-made?
Like I mentioned before, up to 90% of the wildfires in the US are caused by humans, whether it be by leaving campfires lit carelessly, burning debris, or even by discarding cigarettes improperly.
How does climate change play a role in this?
So, due to the warmer temperatures and drier surroundings, it is easier for wildfires to spread rapidly. Climate change also removes the moisture from forest fuels, which are the organic matter that burns and spreads the fires, which is one of the factors that increase the risk for wildfires. The other factors include temperature, soil moisture, and whether plants, trees, and other fuels are present.
The California wildfires have been the product of humans as well as climate change. The Pacific Gas and Electricity corporations have poor infrastructure, which have started fires that have been ignited by cigarette butts. Since the natural climate of California is very dry, there's less moisture in the soil, and there's not a lot of rainfall due to the global decrease of rainfall over time. These factors have contributed to lengthening the time that the wildfire persists. High winds in California that go up to 80 miles per hour contribute to the mass spreading of these fires. With these high wind speeds comes problems with the water-dropping helicopters from flying correctly.
Fire season in Australia is in the summer due to their already hot and dry climate, making the fires common during that time. The causes that are natural include lightning strikes that are common in Australia, but when they hit forests that are affected by drought, fires start. These forests in Australia experience droughts due to the decreased amount of rainfall. This is called dry lightning, which started numerous fires in Victoria's East Gippsland region. A smaller portion of perpetrators include humans, who start bushfires that grow out of control. Unlike most wildfires, Brazil's Amazon rainforest wildfire is man-made, started by loggers and cattle ranchers who clear off their land using a method of controlled fires. When the land is dry, these fires spread out and cannot be controlled any longer. Farmers that use the land and clear out for agricultural reasons also use the controlled fire method. Deforestation has been a major issue with the Amazon rainforest that produces 20% of the world's oxygen. Recent data shows deforestation from January to August was the highest it's been for a decade, increasing by 75%. Since deforestation releases the carbon from the trees, roots, and soil into the atmosphere, this increases the carbon in the air, which allows for the already present fires to grow more rapidly.
What are some experiences you have seen with activism?
While being an activist for wildfires, I've seen many different groups of people coming together for a cause to raise awareness. And it really shows that sometimes disasters such as wildfires have hope in the future of stopping.
What should other people do?
Just by simply reposting something on social media to raise awareness, or even donating to legitimate organizations that help with combating wildfires, it helps those affected. The goal would be for everyone to become an activist, but in reality, small steps that people can take are going to be more realistic and also contribute to helping.
So, what do you think brought the problem of wildfires to their attention?
When wildfires began to affect areas such as California, the Amazon rainforest, and Australia, people began to pay attention to the consequences of these disasters, as well as the consequences of their actions.
So, why do you think activism about wildfires is important?
Since wildfires have been more frequently happening in the world, it's kind of been a wake-up call that activists need to voice, as well as the duty that we have as human beings to protect our wildlife and our lands.
In your opinion, why is activism important?
Activism is so important because that's how people can get the attention of legislation and media, especially since social media can help with spreading awareness.
The fires have devastated lands and neighborhoods, making many Californians evacuate their homes. Those near the affected areas who can stay in their homes have been warned by health officials to avoid the outdoors due to the worsening air quality. Particle pollution poses a large risk to people living in areas near those affected. The poor air quality can be deadly to children, the elderly, or those with weak immune systems. The fires in Australia have caused scientists to believe that the native species that contribute to the biodiversity in the country will be lost, and due to animals dying from starvation and in the fires, which include koalas and kangaroos. The debris from the fires have been clogging the water sources and causing algae to form and threatening the quality of the water supplies. Not only are the fires polluting the waters, but it is affecting the air in Australia. The smoke from the fire is increasing large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which ultimately causes a rise in the Earth's temperature. After my team and I have traveled to Australia, California, and the Amazon, we have not only learned so much about wildfires, but about life itself. From exploring each type of wildfire from each region of the world, we have not only expanded our knowledge, but understood climate change in a deeper level. The planet has a timer, and if the human race won't do what's needed to slow down climate change and wildfires, that timer will go off sooner than it needs to. By interviewing a professor and talking to climate change activists, we see two different sides of the spectrum, from one who has devoted their life to learning about the planet and teaching, to one who has devoted time in the hopes of saving the planet. This adventure has exceeded any expectations my team and I had, and although we lit the match, maybe we can blow it out.